Hello friends, it's Laura from Cool Mom and Collected, and I am so excited because this is my first official homeschool video that I will be putting out on my channel. I have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and 1-year-old, and I am starting officially homeschooling. We're going with Charlotte Mason's philosophy, which if you guys don't know who Charlotte Mason is, she's an educator from way back when who basically was extremely passionate about making education rich for every child, no matter their financial situation. She really highly prioritizes nature, our Heavenly Father, and family. Today is all about my curriculum picks for 2023 to 2024 school year with my oldest, and I am so excited. We are actually doing Charlotte Mason with the CMEC, the Charlotte Mason Education Center. You do have to pay a yearly membership to join, but it was so worth it. I'm so happy that I made the investment, which it is, but a cheaper investment than sending your kids to regular school and paying tuition. So I'm very, very happy to do that. The resources that I found on there are absolutely outstanding. I hope that you enjoy. I'm gonna flip the camera around because there are a lot of things. It might look overwhelming, but part of Charlotte Mason's method was to provide a gentle feast to your children. It's just trickles of beauty all throughout their school day. And so that is what we're gonna be doing. I'm so excited. I am in my element and I cannot wait to share it. Let's do it. Okay, so here we are. Brace yourselves. Like I said, it may look overwhelming, but it all works. By the way, hit subscribe if you guys want to follow along this homeschooling journey, which I will be documenting. All right, so first we have Bible, which they gave a few resources on the CMEC. I browsed through them, kind of feel like I'm just gonna stick with the word and use my judgment as a mother to explain what we're reading. CMEC gives passages that you read together. I'm going to be linking all of these things to my Amazon storefront, so you can find it both in the description box and linked there. Now, first, I went with the Student Bible Atlas by Tim Dowley. So I'm going to pair that with Bible that we do every day. And it's going to really help when we're reading through the Bible to kind of find what is happening and where. So I'm really looking forward to this. Next, we have just one book for American history. There are supplements that are provided, but we're going to just start with this, a first book in American history by Edward Eggleston. I was looking through and the chapters seem quaint and very doable for our lessons, so that's going to be good. The next thing I'm not going to open because the CMEC works very hard to put this together. This is where you can find hymns, folk songs, scripture passages, poetry that you will be learning together as a CMEC group, and it's super precious. I highly recommend joining the CMEC and just being a part of all their resources, this being one of them. We will memorize different poetry, different Bible verses, different folk songs, and different hymns throughout the year. And this is going to be just a really beautiful keepsake. Over here, we have a world atlas and my elementary geography book by Charlotte Mason herself. I think I'm really excited for the books that were made by her because it just makes me feel like she's with us and we're learning together. So again, the lessons are pretty short, which I think is just going to make learning so much fun as opposed to overwhelming large books. So this atlas is different from the Bible atlas because it's more of a world atlas. It has really beautiful maps. Here is our geographical reader. We're going to be doing Little Folks of Many Lands. It's going to help teach my kids about stories of different people in different places. So that is going to be great. One thing, if you haven't guessed, that I love about Charlotte Mason, and you're going to find a trend, is that she uses very beautiful literature. And it's very classic, and it's kind of steers away from the modern day, forgive me, but sometimes cheap literature that's put out for our kids. Got these from Riverbend Press. A lot of this stuff you can find from that store. You can order online, you can go to the direct store, but these are some beautiful narration notebooks because after each lesson, my child is going to be drawing in this notebook, and they're going to be basically drawing what they learned in that lesson of all these subjects. And then they're going to narrate to me what they learned, and I'm going to write it down at the bottom. Of course, once they know how to write proficiently, they can actually write and draw what they learned. And in the end, it'll be another beautiful keepsake of everything that they learned throughout the year. I think it also kind of helps things cement in their head, so that'll be great. This I'm very excited about because I watched a video of Larissa from Charlotte Mason Motherhood. I will link her down below. She's been a huge encouragement to me. She actually did, I'll show you here, this natural history book, Birds of the Air. And as her child was learning every single bird, she had them watercolor the bird in here. So I think there's 25 birds in here, so they did 25 watercolors. Child ended up with this beautiful notebook just filled with every bird they learned about. And again, a narration to the mother who then wrote it down if their child can't write yet. And it was just a beautiful keepsake. So I'm very excited for these two notebooks with Charlotte Mason. It's very big on narrating what you've learned. And this is our Truth, Beauty, Goodness book that I got as well from Riverbend Press. And what's very beautiful about it is this is where, just like these books will hold our narrations for our everyday subjects, this is a very special book that will hold our narrations for our artist study and our composer study and our music, poetry, and scripture that we're going to be reflecting on. So the child will be narrating all those topics in here, and I'll speak about those more, but these are their notebooks for the year. When I say these are their notebooks, I mean this is my son's notebook. My 4-year-old will also be partaking in all these lessons, but she won't be using these books. I have some others for her. Here is what my son will be doing for reading. Now, I'm so thankful because my son actually learned how to read at probably age 5 using Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I love this book. I did a little reel about it on Instagram if you want to check it out, but it teaches your child to read by teaching them letter sounds. And it even has a script and read for the parents. So if you were like me and maybe like, I really want to teach my child to read, but I don't know how, this book is incredible because it literally gives you everything that you need in order to teach them for every single lesson, which, by the way, only lasts 20 minutes. My son got through 50 lessons out of the 100, and he took off reading. So I'm actually doing this with my daughter. Now that I don't need to teach my son to read this year, we're going to do the Beacon First Reader. And this is so beautiful because it has all these different stories that are classics, and these seemed all like fables that were related to animals. And I just love teaching my kids lessons with animals because I just feel like it's the ages where they're all about it. Poetry is very big in Charlotte Mason. Oh, you hear my baby woke up? 1 second. You might hear a few oohs and ahs because my 1-year-old is here, but we're going to continue. Isn't it interesting? Like the everyday mom, I don't think would think that reading poetry to their young child would do anything, but it is extremely helpful to the child. It opens them up to so many vocabulary words they would otherwise not know. It really gives them like a little bit of challenge to the story to absorb instead of this cat is Max. You know what I mean? It just gives a little bit more. But we're going to be doing Rossetti for our poetry. And I mean, I've browsed through a few of these, and really it looks beautiful. It looks interesting. Looks like it's going to give us a lot of conversation. And I mean, there are a few that are going to be a little intense, as you can see right here. And again, poetry can bring up some good conversation. So something else that I got, and this is more like our poetry family book. I love that I got this because this is something that's going to just remain on our bookshelf in our home forever. It will literally, it will take us forever to get through this book. And this was just a very highly requested book. I like that when we finish going through Rossetti over here, we can then go through this book of favorite poems and keep it on our shelves. Over here we have literature. So we're going to be doing 50 famous stories retold by James Baldwin, timeless stories intended for readers age to 9. There's also a book, kind of like a chapter book that we do each term. We're going to be going with 5 Little Peppers and How They Grew, Pippi Longstocking, which I'm excited for term 2, and then Winnie the Pooh. So I'm looking forward to that. My children love chapter books, and I'm just excited that Charlotte Mason encourages big thinkers. She knew that children were capable of absorbing more than we give them credit for. We're also going to do Aesop's Fables for children as part of our literature. And again, I enjoy this because not only are there countless beautiful classic stories, but That one's gonna be a problem. We can skim over and choose the ones that are magic free. And next we're doing the Charlotte Mason Elementary Arithmetic Series, Book 1. Again, very exciting because it's from Charlotte Mason herself. And from what I understand about this, I'll show you here. Short, engaging, interactive lessons that guide your young student to a solid understanding of addition and subtraction through 100. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that this book mainly is oral answers. You have a little bit of supplies that we're going to need. This actually had the option of coming with a kit. I was trying to save money, just got this book, but what I love is that they tell you what's going to be needed so that you can yourself gather whatever materials. So for instance, if 50 pennies are needed, you can grab 50 pennies, 50 nickels, it wouldn't matter. It's gonna make it doable because math can be intimidating for homeschool teachers. Then we have a gridded notebook that is going to work with this math, so I'm excited. Over here, I just decided that this would be a good book. I've seen a lot of people, I've thrifted this, so it was not from my Aunt Sue, but it was for Katie. I think that this is going to be great if you guys can thrift this or buy this. It goes through different virtues like self-discipline, compassion, responsibility, friendship, work, courage, and then it supplies stories and poetry, I believe, inside. So not only will we get to talk about all these virtues, but we'll get to read stories that leave an impression on our children. So I think this would be a great morning activity, and I'm very excited about that. Now, we do have a composer study that we're going to be doing. Not only will we be studying a composer, but we will be studying an artist each term. And I have chosen Monet. I got these absolutely beautiful books thrifted for dollars at the thrift store, at like a thrift bookstore. And they have so many beautiful pictures printed very largely in here. And I just thought, you know what? This is a wonderful way to study the artist's picture. If you don't know what an artist study is, it's basically where I'll show you, look how cool this is. It's basically where you teach your child, how to study a picture and then recreate it to the best of their ability from memory. And it helps them form a relationship with the picture, similar to the composer study. But we're also doing the Burgess Seashore book. You know, I kind of wish that these were in color, these pictures, but you know what? It's still going to be really great for the children, and I'm excited. I actually got some free prints from these books, and those are in color, so that will be exciting. Insect Life is another natural history book that we'll be studying. There are colored pictures in here. Then we have our Country Rambles, which is almost like our natural. This is kind of just like a book that we'll be reading in the afternoon together. Some light reading of natural history, but it's a selection that you do in the evening with your children. So I'm looking forward to that. These are the two nature study guides that are kind of like building my library, my family library. They're excellent resources of pretty much every animal and of nature that you can imagine in here. I kept both because this one has different seasons. This one I enjoyed because it had like winter studies. So things that are like nature that occurs in the winter, and then autumn, and then summer, and then, spring. Natural history in general, I think, is going to be wonderful. And these are going to be great resources to have all throughout our homeschooling journey. And these books, guys, I'm a mom of 4. These books I can use with all my children. This is rich literature that my children will all enjoy. So you better believe my 4-year-old, my 2-year-old, and my 1-year-old will be hanging out while I'm teaching my 6-year-old. I almost forgot to show you guys our spelling book, also known as our My First Word book. This is something that people in Charlotte Mason use so that the child can record new words every time that they find them. And this book is huge. It really could not have been more perfect because it's very thick. It could probably last them years, and they can date it at the top and then write the new words that they learn. So this is going to be a great My First Word book. So the program that we're going to be using for writing is by Penny Gardner. It's an awesome program that teaches children not just how to write their ABCs, but to write it in a really beautiful way, in sort of an italic way. It's not quite as difficult as script, but it is sort of a ease into getting to script. This woman worked way hard on it. It's an awesome curriculum that a lot of people doing Charlotte Mason do. You can actually go to her website, which I will link down below. And through that website, you can find video tutorials of her showing how to use this book. It's really amazing, so I hope that you guys check it out. For our Spanish curriculum, I have a couple of resources here, but I actually signed up very last minute with a Charlotte Mason inspired Spanish program, and I would love to share it with you guys. I think what I'm gonna do, let me know in the comments below if you wanna see a video solely on how I plan to teach my children Spanish, and I'll make sure to link all this and share about how I enjoy the program. Guys, that is it. That is my curriculum. Now, it doesn't include art instruction, and it does not include handicrafts that I will be doing. So if you want to see those in another video, please let me know. If you're financially unable to join the CMEC, don't forget about free resources like Simply Charlotte Mason, like Ambleside that has free curriculum. There are other options, but I'm just really thankful that we were able to make this investment, and I know that it's going to benefit my children.